At the beginning of the story, we see a 50-year-old woman named Laura, the CEO of a robot automation company. Laura is very influential and self-reliant. Her husband is a famous theater director, and they have 2 daughters. However, Laura's marital life is not going well because her husband cannot physically satisfy her. It's not that her husband has any shortcomings. Rather, Laura's physical needs are higher, and therefore she is never fully satisfied. Because of this, Laura is often upset. One day, while walking to her office, a dog suddenly attacks her. But a young man pulls the dog towards himself and calms it down. This is how the boy saves Laura. Afterward, Laura reaches her office. Her assistant introduces her to some new interns, and among them is the boy who had saved Laura from the dog. The boy's name is Samuel. He is 21 years old, and he is very handsome and attractive. They recognize each other at first sight. Laura notices that Samuel's energy is different from the others. Without the slightest hesitation, he fearlessly asks Laura questions. During the break, Laura asks Samuel, "How did you handle that dog?" Samuel smiles and says, "I had a cookie with me, I fed it to him, so he calmed down." At night, Laura sleeps with her husband, but even tonight, her husband fails to satisfy her completely. The next day, Laura and her husband attend a party at the office. Her husband asks her to dance, but Laura doesn't dance and stands on one side, watching Samuel dance with another girl. Samuel was dancing with so much fun that his tie came loose and fell down, but he didn't even notice. On the other hand, Laura keeps staring at him. The next day at the office, Laura's eyes fall on the tie lying on the floor. She picks it up and takes it to her cabin. She starts smelling it, and it was clear that Laura was attracted to Samuel. After this, Laura starts taking skin treatments and therapies to look younger and more beautiful. The next day, while taking the elevator to enter the office, Laura meets Samuel. Samuel says, "According to the mentorship program, I need to talk to you for 10 minutes. But Laura replies, "I don't have that much time." Saying this, she leaves. But her assistant explains to her that doing so would help the interns understand better and would also benefit the company. So finally, Laura agrees to meet with Samuel. She says, "I don't have much time. Say whatever you have to quickly." Samuel says, "No woman has ever spoken to me like this before." Hearing this, Laura feels a little uneasy. She tries to leave angrily, but Samuel stops her. He comes right in front of Laura and tries to kiss her, and seeing this, Laura also kisses him. But the very next moment, Laura feels that this is not right. Saying this, she quickly leaves. After this, Laura decides that she will stay away from Samuel, but it was not that easy for her, because her husband still could not give her the physical pleasure she desired. So Laura became completely attracted to Samuel. While in the office, Samuel tells her, "We need to have a meeting this week, because I have chosen you as my mentor, and this is company policy." But Laura wants to avoid him. At night, Laura goes to a party with her office friends. Samuel was also there, and he was staring at Laura. Their eyes meet, and both keep looking at each other. After a while, Laura remembers that she has some urgent work at the office, so she leaves the party and returns to the office. As soon as she enters her cabin, her eyes fall on a note kept on the table. It has a hotel name, number, and time written on it. The next day, Laura goes to that hotel. She enters and sees Samuel there. Laura says, "Why did you call me?" In reply, Samuel says, "Why did you come?" Laura says, "It's not right for us to meet like this." Samuel smiles and says, "Then why did you come here?" Laura remains silent. After this, Samuel starts forcing himself on her. Laura likes Samuel's dominant attitude. Then Samuel asks her, "Have you ever let anyone take complete control over you?" Laura slowly replies, "No, I am always in control of myself." Samuel smiles slightly and says, "I don't think so." He slowly comes closer to Laura. Laura tries to stop him, but Samuel says in a soft voice, "Calm down." Then, in a commanding tone, Samuel says, "Get down on the ground like a dog on your hands and feet." Laura obeys him. Then Samuel takes a chocolate in his hand and says, "Eat this." Laura slowly moves forward, lowers her head like a dog, and picks up the chocolate with her mouth. After this, they both come even closer to each other. For the first time, Laura feels completely satisfied and becomes full of joy. This is where their new relationship begins. A relationship based on intense attraction and the balance of power. Laura's physical needs, which her husband could not fulfill, are now being met by Samuel. But Laura felt that she was Samuel's boss, and Samuel was much younger than her. Besides, she was a married woman, so doing all this was not right. But ignoring everything, she kept meeting Samuel. They secretly met in the office, hotels, and various other places, and developed a relationship. Gradually, Laura's body language began to change. She became more carefree and reckless. Samuel always loved her in a dominant way, and Laura was gradually becoming addicted to it. One day, when Laura returns home after finishing work, she sees Samuel talking to her husband and daughters. Seeing this scene, She is stunned. Laura goes to Samuel and asks him why he is here. Then Samuel says, "You left your laptop in the office. I came to return it." Laura fumes with anger and starts shouting at Samuel. She says, "My family is everything to me, and you will never come near my house again." Then she says, "We should end this relationship. I don't want anyone to know anything." But Samuel gets furious, and an argument starts between them. In the end, Samuel angrily gets out of the car and leaves. The next day, Samuel messages Laura to come to the office rooftop. There, he says, "If you want us to end our relationship here, then I will transfer to another department." But Laura objects to this because she knows that if Samuel changes departments, everyone in the office will suspect them, and on the contrary, she might lose her job. At night, she was thinking about all this in her room when her husband comes to her. But Laura gets angry and shouts, "You have never been able to satisfy me physically." Saying this, Laura leaves the room. Her husband thinks that perhaps she is saying such things due to stress. Frustrated, Laura goes to meet Samuel. But Samuel doesn't say anything. The next morning, when Laura's husband asks about the previous night, she says, "I said it in a fit of anger." Then Laura gets ready for the office and leaves. Going to the office, she meets Samuel and tells him, "I want to continue the relationship with you." Then Samuel says, "Then you will have to listen to everything I say." Without thinking anything, Laura agrees. From then on, Samuel starts controlling Laura completely. One day, he takes Laura to a hotel and says, "Take off your clothes." Laura does as he says. Samuel says, "You are very beautiful." After this, they come closer, and their relationship takes a new turn. Now Samuel has become completely dominant, and Laura is also slowly coming under his control. Laura unhesitatingly accepts whatever Samuel says. One day, it was Laura's daughter's birthday party at home. While the party was going on, the doorbell rings. When she opens the door, she sees her assistant, but Samuel has also come with her. Laura pretends to be normal from the outside, but she was trembling inside. She quickly messages Samuel to come to the kitchen. As soon as Samuel comes, she bursts out in anger. Laura says, "I can't see you with anyone else. You are only mine." Just then, her assistant comes into the kitchen and sees Samuel and Laura together. Without saying anything, Samuel leaves. The next day, Laura calls her assistant to her cabin. She says, "You cannot date interns because you are their senior. Doing so will stall your promotion." The next day, the assistant comes to Laura's house. Standing in front of Laura, she clearly says, "I know everything about your relationship with Samuel." Then she says, "I want you to end your relationship with Samuel and give me my promotion. Otherwise, I will tell everyone everything." Saying this, she leaves, and Laura stands there stunned. Laura's mental stress increases further. She couldn't understand what to do. Then her husband returns home, and Laura starts shouting at her husband and clearly states, "You have never been able to fulfill my fantasies." She further says, "You could never satisfy my physical needs. That's why wrong thoughts used to come to my mind. I tried a lot to stop them, but I couldn't. Then I met a boy, and I did everything with him." Hearing this, Laura's husband is completely broken. He asks, "Do I know him?" Laura lies. "He was a stranger. We only met once, and that's when we got close." Hearing this, the husband gets extremely angry. Laura tries to explain to him, "I love you," but her husband shouts, "You cheated on me. Didn't you even think about our children once?" He tells Laura to leave the house, crying. Laura leaves her house and starts living in another house. At night, Laura sees Samuel swimming in the pool. She goes to him and says, "You should leave here." But Samuel pulls her into the water, and they get closer. Later, when they are in the room, Rumi's husband suddenly arrives. He sees Laura and Samuel together and becomes extremely angry. He tries to drag Laura away, but Samuel stops him. A fight breaks out between them. Laura tries to separate them and calm them down. Laura's husband says to Samuel, "My wife used you to fulfill her fantasies." But Samuel says that's not true. Just then, Laura's husband has a panic attack. Samuel immediately steps forward to help him and gives him water to drink. At that moment, Samuel seems to realize that what he is doing is wrong. He apologizes to Laura's husband and leaves. Laura's husband also leaves after recovering. Meanwhile, Laura was staying alone in another house. After a few days, her daughter comes to her and says, "Since you left, Dad hasn't returned home. He's been staying at the theater and has even stopped eating." Laura's daughter further says, "Dad needs you, Mom. Please come home. Dad will forgive you." Hearing her daughter's words, Laura goes to her husband's theater. Seeing him, she breaks down in tears and apologizes for her mistake. She says that such a thing will not happen again. Her husband remains silent for a while and then hugs her. They both decide to start their relationship anew. A few days later, Laura goes to the office. Then, a board member comes and says that Samuel has gone to Japan and started a new job. He also asks if Laura had any role in Samuel's departure. Laura doesn't say anything. Then the person says, "I'll be alone tonight. You can come if you want." Laura understands that the man knows about her and Samuel and is now trying to take advantage of it. But Laura clearly states, "I'm not afraid of you, and you should leave from here." After this, Laura is in her own house, in bed with her husband. Her husband is now trying to please her, according to his fantasies, and Laura was thoroughly enjoying it. While experiencing the entire moment, she sinks into deep thought. In her imagination, she sees herself with Samuel in a hotel room. In reality, it was Samuel who gave her true pleasure, and Laura realizes that besides love, she also enjoys dominant behavior, something she had never imagined before. This is how the movie ends. Friends, how did you like the video? Let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe.